I have dropped my camera so many times. Okay. Hey, I'm Christine. Welcome to today's video where we will be meal prepping all of the things. Basically, this idea stemmed from two things specifically. Number one, I feel like this is the story of my life. Why do I do this? I have this, it's pancake mix. Of course it is. I have this huge thing of buttermilk hot cake mix, complete, just add water. I'm trying to decide if I'm gutsy enough to cook the entire thing. Oh, I don't know. How many servings does it make? Oh, it doesn't say. Yields 24 pancakes per pound of mix. This is 5 pounds. It's 125 pancakes. We'll see how I'm feeling about that. Truthfully, I love to meal prep breakfast. Breakfast is chaos at my house. I feel like as my kids get older and they need to do more things in the morning, like Haley's a full-on teenager. She's got the makeup, she's got to do the hair. Her outfit has to look appropriate with her Vans. Andrew's always like, where's my book for today? Because he like keeps novels in his backpack all the time. I relate so hard to that. Where's my homework? And I can't find my shoes and finish eating breakfast. And I usually work out in the morning, so I maybe like getting home at 7:15. We need to be done by like 7:45. There's just not enough time to cook breakfast in the morning because of the schedule. I like to prep breakfast earlier on in the week, maybe one day for the entire week. So we're gonna make these pancakes. I have another idea as well. We'll see where we go. Number two, don't laugh at me. If you've been following me for the last few months, okay, don't laugh. Guess what I have a lot of? Spaghetti squash. I grew spaghetti squash in my garden this year, and I think I ended up with 30 of them. This is one of the smaller ones. Let me show you one of the bigger ones. Yeah, I got a couple of these too. The great news about spaghetti squash is that it's shelf stable for months. Clearly, it is December. I picked these in September. They've literally been sitting on my mudroom bench since then. Totally fine. These last forever, which is amazing, but they're taking up my whole mudroom bench. They're all over the floor in my pantry. I can't handle spaghetti squash anymore. I am going to cook it and put it in like Ziploc bags and freeze it. Thanks to you guys, I learned that you can prep ahead and freeze spaghetti squash for future use. And now that I've been cleaning out my downstairs freezer a little bit, I do have room. I didn't do it before because I didn't have any room, and now I have room. So I'm very excited about it. Let's get out the Instant Pots because it's the best way to cook spaghetti squash and get cracking on these. We're gonna start with 8-quart Mac Daddy today. I don't use the 8-quart very often, but today it just feels right. Here's what I've learned in my vast use of small kitchen appliances is that my kitchen circuit cannot handle more than like 2 appliances at a time. I have flipped a breaker a time or two. So I'm gonna do one right here and one in this bathroom over here. So I'll have like 2 going. We'll see how many I can fit. Let me get out my cutting board and my knife and let's chop these suckers up. Well, I mean, you can put them in whole, but this one's so big, it won't even fit. So I do have to chop some of them and cut the stem. Let's get chopping. Why? Oh, ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's too small of a knife. That's what it is. It's the knife. I need a thicker knife. Okay, go. Oh my God. I promise I work out. I have long preached the importance of really good kitchen tools. In fact, I just did a kitchen splurges that are worth the money video. I'll leave that down below for you. And one of those is a great knife or set of knives. So thank you to Misen for sponsoring today's video. And I want to tell you about their chef knife, which is the knife I've been using for the past several months. If you see any of my recent cooking videos, you have seen me use my Misen chef knife. Now, a really good quality knife can be $150 or more, but what I love about Misen is that you can get a great quality at a really good price, because with my link down below at misen.com/FFM, you can get 20% off of your first order, making the chef knife $50. That is an amazing steal for as high quality knife as this is, because comparable knives will be $100 to $150 or more. A really good quality chef knife can replace almost all in your arsenal. Truly the only knives that you really need are a chef knife, a paring knife, and a slicing knife. And guess what? Misen has that set for you. If you are looking to upgrade your chopping game, or if you're still trying to figure out what to get a friend or family member that loves to cook, or maybe they're just getting started on their own for the holiday season, the chef knife or the knife set or any of the other items that they have on their website. There's a huge array of products that they are offering right now. Getting 20% off with my code to help you out with your Christmas shopping this year is kind of a no-brainer. The last time I tried to chop spaghetti squash, it was a little bit of a disaster. A lot of you guys thought I was gonna chop off one of my fingers. The Misen knife has made this process a lot easier for me to cut them small enough to fit into my Instant Pot. I love using them to chop tomatoes. Usually I would only use a serrated knife to chop tomatoes, but with this knife, they just slice through like butter. I like to use my knife for everything, from chopping potatoes for mashed potatoes or cilantro and tomato to make a salsa. I basically use it for everything. So if you want to try out Misen or get it for a present for someone this holiday season, just go to misen.com/FFM. That's misen.com/FFM. Thank you to Misen for letting me try out their awesome knives and pans. Time for the pancakes, and I think it's go big or go home, isn't it? So we're gonna do the whole dang thing. We're gonna do the whole thing. This whole thing is 3 quarts of water. Fingers crossed this bowl is big enough. My boys adore pancakes, big time. You ready for this? Oh my gosh. I can't even, okay. 5 pounds of mix. Woohoo!
1, 2, that is 3.
Wow, this is a 13-quart mixing bowl. I'm thinking a whisk, some whiskey business. I've noticed in my area, you guys probably don't want to watch me stir that. In my area, I live in a very dry climate. I live about 5,000 feet, what you call a high desert. Usually when I do pancake mix or pie crust or anything that involves flour or whatever, I always need more water, like always. So we're gonna stir this up, let it sit for maybe 5-10 minutes, absorb everything, and take a little look-see. So I remember getting this 5-pound container at my discount store for some stupid price, like $2 or something for the whole thing. And I'm like, wow, that's a really good price. And then what happens is that it sits in my pantry and then like looks at me when I open my pantry, and it's annoying. I can tell you right now, I'm gonna need more water. It's not even all mixed in yet. Like dry chunks still, it's a little thick. I have my griddle over here. I'm gonna put my griddle on my stove as well so I can have like 2 things going at once. What I'm gonna do is actually, I'm gonna watch some YouTube while I like cook up all these pancakes and my spaghetti squash is cooking. Because even when the spaghetti squash is done, it's so hot, you can't handle it. I'm gonna like kind of keep an eye on these as I watch some stuff. So here, I get asked this question all the time, like who do I watch on YouTube? Okay, I'm gonna add 2 more cups of water. So I just started watching The Minimal Mom, and I know she's been around for a while, and like how have I not seen her before? I don't know. I really like her. She's like so real and relatable to me. She seems fairly happy, and I like happy people. They make me happy. So she's a newer one that I've kind of been checking out. I have been watching these 2 girls for a couple of months, but Hannah's Happy Home. I just like watching her house remodel. And then Denise, I can't say her last name, also is doing a house remodel, and she's pregnant with twin boys. We're like painting our house. I'm kind of into the house stuff, if you know what I mean. I like to do a 1/4 cup for pancakes measuring cup. Let me show you the consistency of this, because I know someone's gonna ask me. This little measuring cup is from Pier 1, rest in peace. You see all the bubbles? It's actually fairly thick, and this is after I added extra water. So let's grease up my griddle and get going. I burned my finger on that skillet. I've been putting ice on it. Right there, you see the blister? Sorry, it's like really red from the ice. Freaking hurts. Don't touch hot pans. Hey, this is what 5 pounds of pancake batter look like. Why does it look like so little on camera? This is not a small amount. I have this massive Tupperware here. This one is also very large, same Z's, and 2-gallon Ziploc bags with pancakes that are about the size of a dinner plate, because it got to the point where the small ones were taking too long. So I just made these big ones. And I wish I could have put these in a Tupperware as well, but I don't have one that's big enough around that would fit all of them. So I'm gonna pop the lid on these, stick all of these in the fridge, and the pancakes are done. pancake saga is complete. To move on to our next items in the kitchen, we need to go to the downstairs freezer and grab some meats. Oh, you can see shadow me. Okay, here we go. Now I want to make a breakfast casserole, and that's chorizo. It feels like this reduced price chorizo is gonna be the way to go. Also, I'm gonna make some taco meat out of this ground chicken. So I think I'm gonna get 2 of these out to thaw, and we're gonna cook them up with some taco seasoning. Boom, done. While I wait for my spaghetti squash to cool off enough for me to shred it up and put it in containers for the freezer, I'm gonna move on to a breakfast casserole. And I'm gonna put this together in the fridge for tomorrow's breakfast. It is one of the easiest things to do. All you need is some milk, which I already measured out, a whole bunch of eggs, some bread, and some sausage. And I'm gonna use chorizo because that's what I found in my freezer. So I'm starting with a 9x13 glass pan. Give this a quick spray and I will chop up my bread. I love the ease of a breakfast casserole because you can make it and then stick it in your fridge for the next morning. That you could bake it and then freeze it pretty easily, or you can cook it right away. It's kind of whatever. I put this one in the fridge, let it sit for breakfast the following morning, so I had breakfast casserole and pancakes for the entire week. I will have this recipe down below for you, but I'm using some sourdough bread I found in my freezer. The main base of it is just milk, eggs. I think I put some mustard in there, and I like to break my eggs in a separate bowl just in case I get a shell. I didn't, which was great news. And you can use whatever sausage you want. You don't have to use chorizo like I am. It's just what I had in my freezer. You can use a spicy Jimmy Dean sausage, which I really like. You could also, like spray mustard all over your counter. That's cool too. You can use a normal sausage or a maple sausage, whatever you like. Getting started on my meat prep. So I have my chorizo in this pan. This is my 10-inch Misen stainless skillet, actually. I showed closer shots on my kitchen splurges video, but this is a great price for a high quality pan. If you're using my dollar store meat masher to kind of crumble this up. Over here at the same time in my cast iron skillet, I am cooking up 2 pounds of ground chicken in some bacon fat, and we are gonna make this taco meat. So I'm just gonna add taco seasoning and some water and stick this in the fridge for the week. My chicken is cooked, so I had like a random half a packet of this, so I added the rest of this, almost a 1/4 cup of this, and about 2 cups of water. I will now stir this together with my non-dominant hand and hope I do not throw it on my feet until it kind of simmers and the sauce comes together, and this is finished. My chorizo is about cooked, so I'm gonna turn this pan off and get the rest of this meal put together so I can show you that. After your sausage is browned, you just kind of layer it like lasagna. So I sprayed my pan, I put the first half of the breadcrumbs, half of the sausage, and then cheese. You could also do some fresh tomato, you can do some green onion. I just didn't happen to have any at the moment because I was waiting for a produce box to be delivered, so I was like, I'm not gonna go buy anything extra when I know it's gonna come the next day. The rest of the bread, the rest of the sausage, the rest of the cheese, you do whatever cheese you want. I just happen to have this like shredded Colby Jack in my fridge, and top it with your egg, milk, salt, pepper, mustard mixture, and then I like to top mine with a little bit of pepper. And once it's time to bake, it's 325 degrees in the oven for about an hour. Here is my taco meat. I just put it in these kind of restaurant deli containers. I have a small one. These are gonna go in the fridge for the week. Check that off the list. My next meal prep thing is going to be the steak. I pulled out some steaks out of my freezer. This is obviously a very rough cut from my brother's cows. There's 4 of them. Here's another one here. But it is about 4 pounds. It's a lot. And the bone is still here. So to keep it simple, I thought I would just do some Montreal steak, sprinkle with a little bit of olive oil drizzle. So I'm gonna drizzle these like this. These are still a touch frozen in the middle. So I'm marinating them for dinner tomorrow. We'll grill these tomorrow and probably have some roasted potatoes or something. You could even go as simple as just like a heavy dose of coarse salt, and pepper would also be really good. Okay, I think all my tongs are dirty. So I'll use a fork to flip these over. Do the same thing on the other side and cover them in saran wrap, and I'll stick them in the outside fridge until tomorrow night. And dinner for tomorrow night is basically about done. If you wanted to do more of a keto style meal, you would ex-nay the taters. Maybe you do a salad, roasted broccoli. You could do cauliflower, like roasted cauliflower instead. That would be delicious. You could also do one of those McCormick like steak marinade packets. I have used those a lot in the past and they're really delicious. So if you wanna make steak or marinate chicken or something you don't know how, just get a packet. They're really, really easy. All right, so we'll just put some saran wrap on that. And for size reference, this is a 10 by 15 baking dish. So this is like a ton of steak. This will probably feed us for dinner tomorrow night and then lunch leftovers for the following night. I mean, the following day. Lunch leftovers for the following night. Don't listen to me. Okay, outside fridge for this. Here are all of my spaghetti squashes. I ended up with a ton, actually. These are very large Tupperware containers. I'm just letting them cool off the rest of the way because I don't want to stick them in the freezer hot. And I do have, like, see, this one's still making steam on the outside, and then I have 1 gallon Ziploc bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes about 5 meals for my family, and I didn't even finish all the squash. This was just the beginning of working on it. If you want to check out any of Mizzen's products, knives, pans, anything like that, you can go check out their website. Use my link below for 20% off your first order. Makes the chef knife right about $50. They also have paring knives, bread knives, or slicing knives. All sizes of pans are some great stuff. You should go check it out. Thanks to Mizzen for sponsoring today's video. Thanks for hanging out with me while I prepped this crazy amount of food and a crazy amount of pancakes. And I'll see you in the next video.